Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Milena's Diary. I am your host, your mamacita, Milena Sanchez, and I'm currently making sure that my lips are shining like my future honey. I'm obsessed with this little elf. I think it's a lip oil. I've never used lip oils the way that I use this elf one because this beautiful. Anyways, today. I don't have Milan with me. So, yeah, if you're here for Milan, please leave. Actually, no, please just stay. I was meant to have another guest, but because London is London and the traffic was trafficking, it is no longer possible. But then, you know what? I was like, do I just cancel the session? Then I thought, nah, let me take this as a sign to go in and record a solo episode because I thought, when was the last time I done a solo episode? And if anything, I feel like maybe it's time for it to just be you and I, me and you, tú y yo. Yeah, just something a little bit more intimate. Just, yeah. Giving vibes. Anyways, first thing is first, guys, I'm so excited because for the longest time, I have been telling myself, Milena, you need to get yourself a camera. You need to go out there, get yourself a good camera so you can create more content. You can take good pictures like the influencers have been doing. Obviously, I was doing all of my research. It wasn't one of them ones where I was just like, yeah, let me just wake up and buy a camera today because you got to take your time with these things. You've got to take your time with everything that you do. So, with taking my time and doing all of the extensive due diligence on TikTok, which is like my preferred search engine for everything, obviously the Canon G7X Mark II and Mark III was the one that kept popping up. You know the girlies that have got like bright lighting, but then behind them the sunset is sunsetting? Yeah, those kind of pictures were the pictures that I want to achieve with any sort of camera that I buy. Anyways, so this camera kept popping up, so I was like, you know what, cool. It's going to have to be the Canon G7X. Canon G7X, excuse me, darling, where are you? Because you are nowhere to be found. You are sold out here, there, and everywhere. Like, I was stressed. And the fact that it was sold out, I made it my mission to find one. And I did. And when I found this G7X, I don't know if this G7X came with paying my bills or licking my fanny, but why was it 1,500? Are you mad? 1,500 for what? For what exactly? Because I will take the pictures and I still have to like grade them and edit them and do the colorings and all of that myself. So please, I didn't understand. Oh, what? Because it's got a built-in flash. Anyways, so I went ahead and I was looking for an alternative camera and I found one. And with finding this alternative camera, I also found out that it had exactly the same spec, the same lens, the same everything as the Canon G7X. The only difference was that it didn't come with a flash, but I didn't care because I found the flash on Amazon for £30, right? The camera was half the price. My new child, my Sony, what is this? Sony ZV-1. I've got that right. This gorgeous, stunning. I posted it on my Instagram yesterday, yeah, and people are already in my DMs asking me about settings. Bitch, do I even know what settings I'm using? I don't know yet. I'm trying to figure it out myself because there is so much to learn. But the pictures that I have taken on this, I'm about to shut it down. I'm about to shut down Instagram. I'm going to become one of those influencers. I used to say that I wasn't an aesthetic babe. You watch the aesthetics now. Oh, my page is going to change. And I thought, you know what? Let me invest into myself. If I want to create the kind of content that I'm creating, it needs to be of quality. And this camera brings me quality. And of course, I had to buy a little case and all of this just to make it more cutesy. But anyways, this episode is not about that. I just thought, let me give you a little update of where I'm at in my life right now. And this is the biggest thing happening in my life. So like I said, I thought, let me do a little solo episode. And I always assume, yeah, that people come from the last podcast that I was on, so they know everything about my life. But what I have learned over the last few weeks is that I have got so many new people that have started to follow me, and they don't know my journey. They don't know how I've become the Milena Sanchez that I am today. So I thought, let me take it all the way back. Let me strip it back. Let me take you to when I was like 16 years old, how I even got here, how this started, because why the fuck not? And also, I really wanted to dive into motherhood because it's so funny. A few people on my TikTok were like, oh my God, we didn't even know that you were a mom. Because I don't really post Catalea like that because I'm just weary about a lot of things. And actually, I will get into that. But let's take it back. I was born the 10th of October, 1991. 1991, which was a special day in the area of Brent. I was born in Harrow in Northwick Park. Do you know what? From a very, very young age, yeah, my family always knew that I was going to be a little entertainer because I would run around the house singing and dancing, and music was just like always my life. I wasn't that great in school unless it came to the talent shows, because the talent shows I would always body that, and obviously music classes. Fast forward, I was like always singing and dancing. I was heavy in the Latin community, and there was this like little Latin American school that I used to go to every Saturday. And you know what? Looking back now, my auntie used to travel, and my mum as well. They used to travel from Harrow to Clapham Common and wait for 4 hours whilst I was at this school, and then take me all the way back home. Like, do you know how amazing that is? All the sacrifices that they had done for me. But that's only me now, like looking back as an adult and having a child and realizing that sometimes you got to do these things. When I was in school, I was just that kid that didn't want to learn anything, because in my mind, I know what I want to be. I want to be a singer. I want to be an entertainer. I want to be a performer. I want to be famous. And that's all I want to be. And I don't need GCSEs to get there. I did get a few GCSEs, very proud of myself actually. And then when I was 16, I went to I think it was like an arts and technology college in Holloway. In Holloway, yeah. City in Islington. I went to City in Islington, but I was only there for like a couple of months because I had met this guy, right? He wasn't even meant to manage me, yeah? But I was like, nah, you're going to have to be my manager. And I was literally on the phone to him every single day. I was like, you have to manage me, you have to manage me, you have to manage me. So it got to the day where him and the owner of Channel U, Darren Platt, may his soul rest in peace, they were like, do you know what? We're going to put you in a group. So I was like, okay, fine. Yeah, what group? And they were like, Imperial Squad. Now, if you are the realest of the real, yeah, and you know about Channel U days, you will know about Imperial Squad, the group that sang, all you do is make love to me. What? I don't love you. I don't love... They wanted to put me in there. So I was like, like I like what they're doing, but it's just not a bit of me. Like I want to start my own group. So we were like, cool, fine. So one of the guys knew another guy and knew this guy. They put us basically together, right? So it was me and two other guys. And we were like, let's get into the studio. Let's start making music. We got on straight away. Musically, there was just this synergy between us. It was amazing. So we write this song, right? And I was like, no, this song isn't it, man. Like, I don't know. Like, oh, I don't know if it's going to hit. But we were like, you know what? Let's just show our manager and see what he thinks. So we show our manager 10 seconds into the tune, yeah, he stops it. So we're looking at each other like, what the fuck? And he was like, this is gone. Yeah, we're gone. So I'm like, what? Starts it again. Plays it again. So now I'm like, okay, I'm seeing the vision. I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. We shoot the video for this song. We put the song on YouTube. Tell me why I go to sleep and I wake up and this song is on some crazy numbers. And you know, back then we didn't have like social media like that. Like there wasn't no running promo. There was nothing. We literally just put the song out. We didn't even tell people that we had formed this group. Nothing. There was no marketing. Nothing. Nada. We put this song out and the views went crazy. When I'm telling you, Channel U were playing it back to back. 2 weeks after the song came out, Channel U basically done like this Christmas bash and we were asked to perform. So we're like, yeah, cool, of course. It's a great opportunity. Like, we'll perform. Tell me why, as we're performing, we don't even have to sing because everybody is singing the lyrics back. So we're kind of like on stage thinking, what the fuck? This song literally came out like, I don't even think it was a week. It was like a few days prior to this performance, and everybody was going crazy. The moment we got off that stage, people wanted to take pictures and all of this. And Ed Sheeran was actually, yeah, he performed that day as well. We were like, okay, cool. This could be a thing. Oh my God. I left college because I was like, Mum, do you know what? I'm on my way. I'm on my way to where I said that I was always going to be. I'm about to be rich and famous, Hans. Watch this fucking space. First generation. I'm about to get us out of the trenches. You made the right decision, Mum, on getting on that plane and coming to here. I'm going to prove it to you. 17, 18 years old, I think I was, signed a contract, had a deal, and that was it. In my mind, the world was mine. But no. Life came to teach me one of the most important lessons. We had got, I think, a few songs in and everything was moving very, very fast. I'm talking like the success rate of the group. It was growing rapidly, extupendously. See, I'm just using words I don't even know. Extupendously. And one of the guys, I think it just got a little bit too much for him. He was in a relationship at that time. And yeah, the attention, I guess he was getting, the boys were getting, the girlfriend didn't like. I don't know the ins and outs. All I know is one day he said that he wanted to leave. And we were like, are you fucking mad? What do you mean you want to leave? We have not even reached the peak of this group. And you're telling us already that you want to leave when we've had all of this success. Anyways, I have to say, yeah, it was one of the, I guess, like the saddest times of my life as a teenager, because I was like, I had this dream. I've always had this dream. It was so close to me, like, you know, I almost grabbed it. The person that was also, you know, helping us to get there, they now want to leave. I felt like my whole world had been snatched from me. I remember crying. I remember begging him to stay. I remember like asking him, like, what can we do just so you can continue with us? And there was nothing. He had already made up his mind. And it was just one of them ones where we had to accept what it was. I didn't respect it, to be honest. I didn't get it. So yeah, I think I was like 19 or something. And imagine 19 years old thinking your dreams are now coming true. And then, oh no, do you know what? It's even burning my soul right now. It's burning me as I'm thinking about it. But do you know what? Let me be positive, because life would have taken a different course had I have stayed in that group. So after he left, we then auditioned for another member, so for another guy, and we done a couple of songs, I think, with him, but it just didn't feel the same. He was very talented and he was great, but it just wasn't what it was. And yeah, we decided to break up, and then I just developed my craft and started focusing on myself as an artist and, really starting to think, who is Milena Sanchez? We started making music with these amazing producers. I think I was like halfway through an album, on my way to get signed to a label. I had a listening party all in place. Like, my career was set out. So much had been invested. I was working super, super hard. And then I think I was like developing as an artist for a couple of years. And then, dun, 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 I found out I was pregnant. And I was like, how old was I when I found out I was pregnant? 22. I was 22 when I found out that I was pregnant. So I'm going to tell you guys like every single part of my journey, not just career-wise, but also like motherhood and life and all of that. Let me tell you about the day that I found out that I was pregnant. Oh my gosh. Obviously, as adults, you know what it takes to get pregnant. You know what it takes. And it takes two to tango. So I was like, you know what? I think maybe there is a chance that I've got a little bambino inside of me. So we done a test, and I remember this so clearly because I was getting ready to go to a gym session. I done the test and I left it just on my cupboard. Like, I was just like, yeah, whatever. It's not going to say positive because, I mean, I had taken so many other pregnancy tests before. Fucking hell, should I have a share in Clear Blue? No, I'm joking. I'm really not joking, but whatever. And I thought, you know what? This is just going to come back negative. It's going to be absolutely fine. And then I can just get on with my life. And it is what it is. Tell me why I came back and it said pregnant. I said, me, 22 and pregnant, living in my mum's yard with my boyfriend. What do you mean? Make it make sense. I've got plans. You know, me blaming the world as if I didn't go and arch my back. Like, the fuck? So I was like, there is no way that I was getting rid of the baby. So I just thought, it is what it is, guys. And there was a moment where I was like, oh, is this baby going to ruin my career? And then I thought, I am such a big believer in God and such a big believer in destiny and everything that was meant for me, that I just knew in my heart that having this baby may change the course of things, yes, but will it be, you know, will it absolutely alter my success and will I never become successful? No, because I knew the kind of life that I was destined for and my drive and everything that I wanted to achieve in this life. Like, I just knew that I wasn't going to be just somebody that didn't make it. I was going to really skip my pregnancy, but my pregnancy was a very, very mad pregnancy. Now, I know that I have a lot of mums that listen to my podcast. I have a lot of women who wants to become mothers. I have women who are pregnant currently that listen to me. So I think it's very important for me to not skip this chapter of my life because it was a very, very crazy, sad time in my life, yeah, for many reasons. And some reasons I actually won't go into because, yeah, there's just things that I just don't want to talk on. But I was 3 months pregnant, I think it was. Yeah, I was 3 months pregnant. And do you know what's so funny? I was definitely having relationship issues before we had Catalea. And I feel like sometimes you will have issues in a relationship and stupidly you will assume that once you have a baby or once you get pregnant, that those issues will now vanish and disappear because there is something new, beautiful, and exciting to focus on. And that is true for a short period of time. That will only be masked for so long. Like, everything that you had an issue with, everything that you had a problem with, it will resurface at some point and it will explode. And those reasons will be the reasons why you leave. So this is just a little disclaimer out there for anybody. If you think having a child with somebody is going to change that person, please do not trap yourself like that. Don't trap yourself like that. We were in a bit of a like, oh my God, what the fuck is happening? But anyways, let's just continue with it because at that point we had been together like 6-7 years. And then I was 3 months pregnant and sadly his brother had a very, very, very traumatic car accident. And from the get-go we were like, you know, he's not going to survive. And I was in hospital every day from 3 months of my pregnancy up until way after I had Catalea because he ended up having rehab and stuff. And it was so anxiety fueling, the whole situation, not knowing whether he was going to live or, you know, the quality of life that he was going to have. He also had 2 children. He was my daughter's uncle. He was like a little brother to me. It was just so, so much. And I truly believe up until this day, yeah, that all of the anxiety, all of the sadness, everything that we went through during that time, it had passed on to Catalea. Yeah, it was a very, very tough pregnancy and a very traumatic one. But we thank God that he is alive. And we actually saw him get married a few weeks ago. I think a few weeks ago. And it was so emotional because we didn't think that he was going to make it. So yeah, I'm just like, all glory to God, man. Thank God. I had Catalea and we were obviously trying to make it work. At this point, I wasn't doing anything. Oh no, actually, I was working. I was working in a call center because I was like, you know what, I'm not going to be pregnant and not doing nothing, and I need to make some money. So I went in. I think it was like 4 months pregnant, got this job, didn't tell them I was pregnant until I was like 6 months or something. But I made sure that I worked every single day. After my shift, I would go to the hospital, and that was like my day to day. When I finally had Catalea, oh my days, I'm gonna tell you my labor story because it is low-key a little bit traumatic for me personally. And I think this is the reason why I will never carry again. I mean, I'm still debating, but I don't think I'll ever carry again. My pregnancy, obviously being 22, 23, I did not know nothing about, keeping fit, being healthy. I didn't give a fuck. Like, I wanted to eat cheeseburgers. I was obsessed with salt and vinegar discos. All I wanted to eat was kebabs. Like, my diet was trash. I never done any exercise. It was so, so terrible that if I got pregnant again, oh my God, because my lifestyle has completely changed from that and I've grown so much, maybe I would have an easier labia? God, not me showing people that I'm really lesbian. Maybe I'll have a better labor. Anyways, oh my days, I was induced. First of all, being induced is the worst thing in this life. Like, I low-key feel like it should be illegal. If I would have known everything that I went through, I would have been like, yeah, you lot, yeah, I'm not doing it. But I had to be induced because my blood pressure was super high. I was swollen as fuck. It was so bad. I was high risk. It was just crazy. So I went in on the Friday morning. I did not leave until the Monday night. I was in active labor for 28 hours. I had pethidine. I had gas and air. I had the epidural. I was fucked. I was one of those, you see when you watch One Born Every Minute, which I watched every single episode, and I thought, you know what, I am ready for this labor thing, but nah. And you hear those women that are like screaming down the labor ward. That was me. I was so bad. I was in hysterics to the point that I had ripped out the epidural from my back. Once they noticed that, I was like, no, I need more epidural. What the hell is this? Like, I am in so much pain. And they were like, well, you're 10 centimeters dilated now, so we can't do the epidural again. You're just going to have to push with what you got. TMI, yeah, but I felt my hips crack. Oh my God. You know when people say that once labor's done, you forget about it because your brain blocks out trauma? Nah. I still remember that feeling of it's a lot. Wow, women, and I didn't even ask for a push present. I might have to go back and ask now because I need to be compensated because what the fuck can I tore? And now I had to get stitches and now I have to give birth to the placenta and now you lot are going to force me to breastfeed. Nah. Whoever's listening and are currently pregnant, I'm sure everything is going to be fine. You're going to be great. Just have faith. The only advice that I will give to you is be open-minded, and the birthing plan should be having no plan and just taking it as it comes because you never know. And please don't be disappointed in yourself if it doesn't go the way that you want, and you're still as much of a mother if you have a C-section or you give birth vaginally. You're still amazing. You did that. You grew a whole human being. You're fucking amazing. You're a warrior. Wow. Just recognize what you've done. In my culture, there's no respect. So once I had Catalea, the whole family was at the house. Now, when we have a baby, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm going to have to say like 3-4 weeks minimum. Please, everyone, just give us our space. Let us breathe. Let us gather ourselves, because I still had contractions a week after having Catalea and I was like pissing myself randomly. I had to use a jug to pee because I was so sore and swollen. I had to pee in the bath because I was, so sore and swollen. And it's just not a time that you want to be around like other people. Of course, everybody's so excited because they've waited so long for this baby. But I truly feel like people don't respect a mother once she's given birth. once that mother gives birth, everybody feels entitled to come in and visit in that newborn. And I'm gonna need people to take a second and not think about themselves. Like, the baby is not gonna change much in a couple of weeks. Like, just relax. You can get pictures. You'll be cool. Just give that family some fucking space. A couple of weeks after, obviously, we have everyone coming in and out of the yard and whatever. At this point, my relationship with her dad is like going downhill. It's just like whatever. And I'm really struggling with motherhood. And then I think it was like 2-3 months after that I was like, Mum, I really need a break. And you know what? I am so grateful for my mum. Like, I love that woman. Yeah, it's been a hell of a roller coaster with us. Me and my mum's relationship was so up and down for so long. And when I had Catalea, yeah, it would get better here and there. But because me and my mum, I don't know, we just clash. Like, sometimes we'll have really, really good moments and other times it will just be terrible. But at the moment, we're kind of like smooth sailing, and I'm really, really proud of us. I'm so grateful for her because in the morning, she would come in, get kata at about like 8 o'clock, and she would let us sleep until about 11 and 12. And I promise you, if I did not have that, I don't know. I feel like I would have like lost my mind. Definitely had postnatal depression for sure. Because when I got to about like 12 weeks postpartum, I was like, Mum, I need a break. I can't do this. I really, really can't. I'm struggling. And she was like, you know what, Hazel, go away, go on holiday, you know, have a second to be you, because I had gone through so much during that pregnancy. And I feel like because I was such a social person and where I was at my career, I not felt resentful towards my pregnancy, because I definitely put myself in that position, but it was a big change. So I was struggling with that change from being so out there with people to just being at home and going through everything that I went through. So my mom was like, Hazel, go away. So I was like, cool, fine, I'm going to go. I went on holiday and I went for, don't judge me, okay? Please don't. And anyways, even if you do fucking judge me, I don't give a fuck. I went away for like, I think it was like 8-9 days. And of course I missed my child. Of course I missed my baby. But there was a part of me that felt like I was reborn again. Like I could have a second just to be myself. And trust me, I was riddled with mum guilt. Mum guilt that followed me for many, many years. And I would say even up until this day. But I'm so grateful for my mum to have given me that opportunity. And I know a lot of people aren't as fortunate as that. And hats off to you guys, because it's a lot. But anyways, I came back, and in that moment of time, I wasn't doing music. I was still working, because I went back to work like, I think 2 months after I had her, because I was like, I need to get this money. And because I hadn't been there for long, I wasn't entitled to maternity pay. So I was like, no, I need to get some money. So during this time, after a year, I moved out, got myself a place, moved in with her dad. We were like on and off. Then he ended up moving out. I was living alone, which was hard. Imagine, like, you got a 1-year-old, you're living alone, you're navigating this new life. I was fucking depressed. I didn't have a pot to fucking piss in. I had no money. And the money that I was making from work, it literally all went out on rent, bills, everything. So I was like, I started doing like these Facebook lives, yeah. It was just me talking about all of like first dates experiences, my experience with men, all of that. It was just a place for me to vent. And then I realized that a lot of people liked listening to my stories and my storytelling and all of that. And I was like, okay, cool, let me try and make this a thing. So I would always go on live, yeah. And then obviously I fell into podcasting, and how I fell into that, it was just so random and great and whatever. And obviously that podcast absolutely changed my whole life, like financially, just everything. I experienced so many beautiful, amazing things during the time of being in that podcast, and I will always be grateful regardless. But yeah, fast forward into having to make one of the biggest decisions of my life for myself, and now looking back, it's almost been like 2 years, and it's been the best thing that I have ever done for myself. And I'm very, very, very proud of myself, and I'm very, very happy to now create in this podcast on my own, and having you guys listen to me and having you lot DM me and send me all the messages that you do and all of the inspiring things that you guys say to me. Like, I am so, 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 so grateful. I appreciate every single thing. Like, you have no idea. And you also have no idea how much I've like doubted myself as a person, as a woman, as a mother, as a content creator, as a podcaster, as just myself. So yeah, I'm a work in progress, but I do have to say, like, I am very, very grateful for all of you guys, and you don't know how much it means to me. But I don't even know how I got here, to be honest. Are we done now? I think maybe this solo episode has gone on for a little bit too long. I don't know. If I've missed anything out, let me know. If there's anything else that you want to know, please let me know. If there's any questions that you have, please send them over. And if anything, I will do another solo episode. Maybe I'll make this a thing. But yes, I just wanted to make sure that there was some form of consistency with this podcast, because sometimes, guys, it gets hard, and I'm sorry. And I know that some of you rely on getting the episodes every Tuesday. I get it. But life be lifing. And especially now, summer holidays. I'm like, no, I'm joking. But it's difficult. It's hard, okay? So to all of you mummies working, all of the mummies that aren't working, all of the mummies who are self-employed, girls, I got you. I hear you. I'm sending you so much love. But yeah, that's it from your mamacita, Milena Sanchez. I feel like this episode was so turbulent and a little bit chaotic, but maybe that is just a visual representation of like how my mind works. But yeah, I hope you guys are well. Please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please make sure you follow Spotify, Apple, comment, please. All of those little things do so much for me. Like, even a small little like, that does a whole heap for my analytics. So thank you. If you haven't done it already, please go fucking do it now. I'm gonna wait. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. Anyways, guys, stay blessed, stay healthy. Make sure you're eating 30 plants a week. Make sure you're getting good head. Make sure you're giving good head. And make sure you're praying. God, all of that in one sentence. Mad. Take care.